The voice of the I Am is the mouthpiece through which the Ascended Master's instruction can reach the students quickly. That the most powerful work possible for America and the world may be done by the students to release the greatest light in the shortest time. It will also contain information as to where the accredited messengers, Mr. and Mrs. G.W.B. Allard and son, D. Arnold, are teaching the Ascended Master's instruction on the I Am. Quote, information. As they are the information given under the heading of Young America will be the Ascended Master's help to the young people for their protection and illumination. As they are the builders of the new civilization and are the channels through which the Ascended Masters will give their light for the use of the outer world in the golden I Am age. This magazine is not an outlet for articles from the students, but is the outpouring of the help from the Ascended Masters, and has no human concepts in it. M-R-E-N-W. Song to the Cherubim. A cherubim, O cherubim! Blessed beings of pure love, light's guardians of almighty power, come forth, thy presence prove. To all mankind within the earth bring peace and ease and joy. Pour out thy pure and holy flame, God's gold without alloy. O cherubim! O cherubim! So radiant, dazzling bright, guard well the streams of essence pure from thy great cosmic height. Enfold us too in thy love's flame, safeguard us by thy might, and flood the earth with substance pure, love's liquid stream of light. O cherubim! O cherubim! Thy love, thy peace we call, supply, protect, and enter now into the hearts of all. Pure, true, and holy as thou art, make all earth's children too. Release thy victory everywhere, and blaze thy presence through. O cherubim! O cherubim! Quote. Quote. From the great, great central sun, God's own pure messengers of love, with the I Am Presence One, abide with us forevermore within the unfed flame. Through miracles so real and true, reveal the great I Am. Quote, S.A.N. Germ Ames Discourse, Detroit Class, November 29, 1936. H-O-U-I.
Thou infinite light, thou infinite mighty I Am presence. Charge, charge these beloved students of the light with the fullness of thy infinite harmonious action so qualified.
H-O-U.
Thy infinite harmonious action so qualified. Charge the
higher mental body of each one to qualify by every feeling so that it Charge the higher mental body of each one to qualify every feeling, so that it expresses only thy perfection, thus holding the human in obedience to the divine presence. That the quickest, the fullest possible expansion of the light within each heart may come into action to set the individual free, not only from their limitations, but unto their ascension. This activity, O beloved ones, is always threefold. Not only calling your attention to your presence in our humble endeavor to have you accept it, but by the radiation from the Ascended Masters, it is possible to clear the comprehension of each one until tremendously greater speed of achievement may be attained. You might be interested to know that no great achievement in the world is ever accomplished except through the radiance of an ascended being. Mankind does not often know from the outer standpoint why a wonderful activity takes place. Therefore, many times transcendent things have been qualified by human concepts and lowered into a rate of vibration which deprived the individual of the blessing intended. The great cosmic light is rushing into the earth, making so much possible which heretofore could not have been. Then, when we ask you to do certain things for your freedom, it means we see and know what you can actually do in that. In the instruction of the book of I Am Discourses, there is the solution to every human problem, the answer to every question that the human asks. Will you use them until you are in such clear definite contact with your own mighty I Am presence? I mean by that, so clear the channel that you feel, see, and hear its spoken word to you through the higher mental body, as definitely as you hear mine. Then will all human mistakes cease, because only in human concepts does one find mistakes occurring. In the Ascended Master Consciousness, there are no mistakes. So, if you will realize it is within your province, your ability, by attention to your presence, to make the channel absolutely clear for your direct release of good of every description, then you will understand that no longer can human things interfere. It is imperative at first, when you enter the great stream of light, to be firm and positive against accepting human appearances. But the moment you recognize your presence, they cease to have power. Remember, in your qualification, your power of qualification, you can do or undo. As you accept your presence, every activity in those qualities which you are unaccustomed to use becomes intensified. I want to give you this explanation tonight of why seeming discordant things occur, sometimes, to the students who have entered the light. Because they have not or would not use the violet-consuming flame, the old momentum set into action in past embodiments rushes forward for redemption as you enter this great stream of light, and all the activities of your being become quickened. If you will use the violet-consuming flame, call your MIGHTY I Am presence into action as these things arise. Dissolve and consume them. It will not be possible for you to have an accident of any kind. However, mankind so often thinks, well, I will use this a while, and then they forget it. Do not hesitate to call your presence into action, to stand guard over you and your world until your ascension. Mankind needs protection as never before in its existence. You, being the decreer of your world, must not only qualify, but call into action the qualities you wish to have manifest there. If you will do that, O beloved ones, your troubles will soon cease. When I feel oftentimes the great agitation and anxiety of the students who want so much to be free, yet through the feeling they are still giving attention to those appearances which have no power, only as they accept them into their worlds, I long to hold them close in my embrace of light until all that can be dissolved. But beings of free will must be taught to call into action consciously the perfection which they wish to have manifest. As they do that, they will have no difficulty in freeing themselves. Beloved students, our love is very great, and our gratitude very great, for the great love you have poured out to the messengers, to us, and for your generosity here. We thank you exceedingly, and we rejoice with you that the gates to your freedom stand wide open before you. Enter in, O my precious ones, and feel the fragrance of your MIGHTY, I am presence, flooding your beings and world. We rejoice as your freedom and victory goes forth through the feeling world. It carries forward a mighty radiance to heal, to bless, prosper, and enlighten. You, through this recognition, O my precious ones, become a blazing focus of light, a sun of light, if you please. Pour forth this radiance everywhere you move. Do you see how great is that service, not only in setting yourselves free, but perhaps hundreds whom you do not know? They themselves know that it was your radiance which gave them the courage and strength to reach forth again, to grasp their scepter of dominion and go forth a free being of light. Oh, my precious ones, how long we have waited for humanity to once again turn their attention to the MIGHT I am presence, which enables us to do for them what otherwise is impossible. A great number have come to accept their MIGHTYM presence and make their call through these mighty decrees to set a mighty force into action in the mental and feeling world of mankind. Then you not only have your own effort, but think of it, O beloved ones, 200,000 times your own effort. Will you please still yourselves for a moment and feel this mighty truth? In the mental and feeling world of mankind, in all of you, and in all the students of the I Am everywhere in America and the world, there is no separation. Do you not see? Let us use a crude illustration. Say, here is an octave, and here in the lower edge of that octave, your heads are in this radiance. That is a crude illustration of how in the mental and feeling world there is oneness of consciousness. Therefore, when a decree goes forth into the mental and feeling world of mankind, do you not see how every one of you, more than 200,000, are receiving the blessing of the others in their decrees? Do you not see how you have entered into a mighty activity of the infinite? Tonight, it has been made possible for us to call this to your attention. The messengers have asked you to love and harmonize with each other, that your mental and feeling world may be held in great calm serenity. Then, the power of the presence, called into action through your decrees, does its work with great speed and accuracy, uninterrupted and uninterfered with by human feeling. Will you not see that, O precious ones? Feel the mighty infinite benefit which it brings to you. When you sometimes feel you have not the ability, stop for a moment and think how you are having the assistance of 200,000 people. Oh, beloved ones, do you not see this? Contemplate it. Then feel the infinite courage generated by others, as well as the assistance from your own mighty I Am presence, amplified by the great host of ascended masters. Do you not see how it becomes impossible for you not to have your freedom, achievement, and the expansion of your own light? It was a magnificent thing when the great cosmic law came to a point where it was first permissible and then imperative that these mighty decrees go forth in the mental and feeling world of mankind. You see, the individual has been so prone to think that his only concern was about his own little individual world. Yet, in this activity, one becomes a part of the whole, and the whole is active for the one. Then, let me remind you again, it is so tremendous when you call your mighty I Am presence into action. It knows no interference or resistance. It goes forth with the power of the universe to fulfill your requirement. Do not ever forget these words, my precious ones. Let them be emblazoned in light, emblazoned in your forehead, your brain, to act there as well as in your heart, to remind you that your application of the presence cannot fail ever, and that every single effort of yours becomes strengthened in use. As you make your application earnestly, you are gaining a momentum which shortly will carry you forward, bringing great speed of activity in your application and in your requirements. You would have thought a few weeks before that it was incredible. Today, you have the scepter of power in your hands. Grasp it firmly. Use it, use it, use it! Oh, my precious ones, to call forth the mighty, intelligent energy of your presence to go forth in your world, dissolving and consuming every discordant thing. Replacing discord by the perfection of the presence and holding its dominion there forever, all powerfully active. Beloved ones, tonight I leave with you our love and blessings, our sincere appreciation of your every earnest effort which cannot fail in your freedom and achievement. I call forth the blessings of the great host of light to enfold you with its courage, strength, and sustaining power, until you become fully aware from within your own MIGHT, I am presence, of its power to govern your world at your call every single moment. Then stand serene in its full radiance and activity. Be glorified by not only your freedom from limitations, but by your ascension into your electronic presence, the MIGH, I am presence, forever free, the ascended being, Master of all worlds. I thank you. (1937) Radio Broadcast Number 1, THE, The Mighty Impresence. HE, cosmic moment has struck, beloved ones of America, when the Ascended Masters call you to victory and freedom in the light. Dear ones, in this series of 10 broadcasts, as I give you the Ascended Masters' instruction on the mighty I Am presence, which is the law of life, energy, and vibration, you may wonder by what authority I give you this mighty knowledge. Mr. Ballard and I were chosen to be the messengers of the Ascended Master Saint Germain because he has prepared us to render this service at this time. For more than 30 years, we both earnestly sought for the truth of life, knowing that there must be some underlying law which, if found, would give us the freedom we craved. The answer to our quest came in 1930, right here in your own glorious America, on the side of Mount Shasta, when Saint Germain, who is one of the great Ascended Masters, came forth to Mr. Ballard and made it possible for him to have the transcendent, illuminating experiences which Mr. Ballard has recorded in his book UN versus EILEMYSTERIE, written under the pen name of Godfrey Ray King. A few months later, in the beautiful Wyoming Rockies and the Grand Teton of Teton National Park, Mr. Ballard was shown and taught the marvels which he has recorded in his book, THE, The Magic Presence. He was chosen by Saint Germain because of previous association and preparation to have and record these experiences, that the people of America and the world might know and comprehend the great unknown and unacknowledged assistance which is now being given to mankind by himself and the other Ascended Masters, in the face of seeming distress and disorder in the outer world. Through this understanding, the great Ascended Masters are trying to arouse the people of America to make conscious, determined effort to neutralize the destructive forces that mankind has generated. If you wish to know upon what a magnificent plan the destiny of America is founded, and the benefits derived from a conscious understanding of the Ascended Masters' law of life, we point you to these two truly transcendent books, Unveiled, MYMYTERIES, and The Magic Presence. As explained in the foreword, the exact names, locations, records, and treasures, including dates, are withheld intentionally at the command of Saint Germain for reasons that are obvious. Saint Germain in As explained in the foreword, the exact names, locations, records, and treasures, including dates, are withheld intentionally at the command of Saint Germain for reasons that are obvious.
At the close of these experiences, Mr. Ballard returned to our home in Chicago, where
At the close of these experiences, Mr. Ballard returned to our home in Chicago, where further explanation of this mighty law of life, the MIGHTYM presence, was given to us by Saint Germain in person. At the close of these experiences, Mr. Ballard returned to our home in Chicago, where further explanation of this mighty law of life, the MIGHTYM presence, was given to us by Saint Germain in person. In a series of 73 discourses, he dictated the Ascended Master instruction on the use of the great creative word, I am, and the mighty I am presence, which is God in action. This knowledge given to us was and is so sacred, so transcendent, and so practical that Mr. Ballard, our son, Donald, and I are devoting every moment of our lives to the giving of this work to the people of America.
we ask you not to believe a word we tell you, but to prove the truth of every word we say. During the past 2.5 years, we have stood before more than 225,000 people throughout.
During the past 2.5 years, we have stood before more than 20. We ask you not to believe a word we tell you, but to prove the truth of every word we say. During the past 2.5 years, we have stood before more than 22,000 people throughout most of the large cities of the United States of America and given forth this instruction. We shall continue to do so until all mankind is set free in the knowledge of the mighty I Am presence. Quote, Tonight, let us turn our attention to the understanding of this MIGTY presence, the individualized God self of every human being. Down through the ages, mankind has thought of God as being everything from a kindly old gent-le man sitting on a golden throne to a great abstract principle or impersonal force working blindly and heartlessly throughout the world. From out the heart.
We bring to you, dear ones, the perfect, logical, acceptable, heart-satisfying, eternal law and truth of life, the true explanation of God as given us by Saint Germain, Jesus, and the other.
We bring to you, dear ones, the perfect, logical, acceptable, heart-satisfying. Down through the ages, we bring to you, dear ones, the perfect, logical, acceptable, heart-satisfying ETENAL law and truth of life, the true explanation of God, as given us by Saint Germain, Jesus, and the other ascended masters. From out the heart center of infinity comes forth the individualized presence of God, clothed in a body of pure light substance. This elect electronic body abides immediately above every human being on earth and pours down into the human form the life, the light, the substance, and energy that enables the physical body to move, breathe, and have self-conscious life. This individualized focus of the great supreme source of all life is the MIGHT, I am presence. This is the God self of every man. In this way, God, life, governs the universe by the individualization of itself, which every human being is in reality. The withdrawing of this presence of the life energy from the human form is what we know in the outer physical world as death. The eyes and ears of the body after so-called death may remain in perfect form, yet the body can neither hear nor see. The eyes and ears of the body after so-called death may remain in perfect form, yet the body can neither hear nor see. Because the great stream of energy which flows down from the presence and allows the body to see, hear, and move about has withdrawn. This is what Jesus referred to when he said, "Of myself I can do nothing. It is the Father within that doeth the works." For he recognized and knew that great presence of God, the I am, and to it gave all acknowledgement in all accomplishment. The MIGHT, I am presence of every individual, no matter what the worldly estate, is a almighty, limitless intelligence, focused and dwelling in an electronic body of blazing pure substance and energy. This is the man referred to in the Bible, who is made in the image and likeness of God. It would have been a sad-looking God indeed if the human form of man was what had been referred to as God's I am-age. But now we know that it is this blazing God presence, dwelling immediately above every human form in full perfection, which is the divine man. This blazing, beautiful presence is the G-U-A-R-D-N angel, spoken of down through the centuries. Many individuals have gazed upon their own MIGHT, I am presence, and thought they were seeing a glorious being sent from God. This individualized God self projects the attributes of itself down into the substance of the physical world, creates a body, and operates it through the physical senses. It loans the physical body the use of certain attributes and endows it with an intellectual and heart consciousness, through which the God self should be allowed to expand its light and perfection, and which it always does, unless interfered with by discordant feeling. If you doubt that this great God presence stands willing and ready to fulfill every constructive wish of your heart, the Ascended Masters say to you, if you will call your presence into action 3 times daily, earnestly for 5 minutes, keeping your feelings harmonious, inside of 10 days, you would have the evidence in your own experience so strong that nothing could turn you aside. Say to your great God presence, which is above you, "Mighty I am presence. Release into my world as your glad, free GIF of love this constructive thing which I so earnestly desire." Do this 3 times a day for 10 consecutive days with deep feeling, keeping yourself harmonized, and the sure and certain answer to this call will be all the proof you will need to know that what we tell you is the eternal truth, the law of life. The beautiful colored picture of this MIGHT, I am presence appeared in the February issue of this magazine. Through the use of this eye picture of the presence, you can more quickly comprehend it and release its mighty power in its full illness through your body to heal, bless, and release its perfection out into your world and to all you contact. You may ask, if each human form has a perfect God presence pouring into it God's own perfect substance, why is not the human being the outpicturing of this full perfection? Quote, Here, blessed ones, is the most illuminating understanding of the law of life ever given to mankind. That perfect substance and energy from the presence as it flows into the body of the individual would remain pure and perfect and always outpicture perfection. If it were not for the requalification through discordant feeling and inharmony with which the individual clothes his God-given energy. Our work as messengers of Saint Germain is to show you, blessed ones, how you can, through harmonizing your feelings and recognizing this pure God energy, allow it to sweep into your bodies in its original pure state and full power to cleanse and purify your worlds of everything undesirable. When you learn to do this, you will be fulfilling the commands which Jesus gave. Be ye perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. Ye are gods. The things I do shall ye do also, and greater things than these shall ye do. Quote, during the coming week, we shall give to you the practical application and use of this MIGHT, Law of Life. Each evening as we close, we invite you to join us in a powerful, loving decree for the blessing and perfecting of yourselves, your homes, America, and the world. Tonight, we say, Mighty. I am presence, and great whole street of ascended masters. Pour Th East fullness of your light and love into every blessed one who has listened to these words, and to every one in the world. Awaken them into the full truth and reality of your mighty I am presence.
Show them the reality of yourself as the only directing, controlling presence and power in their daily lives.
Produce Perfectio N and D hold your Dom in Ni and W within them ANDTHEIR worlds forever.
WHAT.
Mighty I am presence and great host of ascended masters. Pour the fullness of your light and love into every blessed one who has listened to these words, and to everyone in the world. Awaken them into the full truth and reality of your mighty I am presence. Show them the reality of yourself as the only directing, controlling presence and power in their daily lives. Produce perfection and hold your dominion within them and their worlds forever. What we decree for ourselves, we command for all mankind, the earth and its atmosphere. We enfold you in the Ascended Master's mantle of light and love to give you every good thing forever. And remember, the light of God never fails. The light of God never fails. The light of God never fails. And the mighty I am presence is the light, is that light. Affirmation. Mighty I am presence, charge my entire being and world with 10 times more peace, poise, and ascended master self-control than I need to maintain perfect balance and obedience to you every moment and keep them eternally sustained.
W.
The application to sign for the 100% groups is no pledge, oath, or anything of the kind. It is simply a reminder to the individual of the requirements needed to live up to the highest ideals.
This is the shortest shortest way to the goal of freedom. It is simply a reminder to the individual of the requirements needed to live up to the highest ideals. This is the shortest way to the goal of freedom, and is but a means of helping the individual to the goal. Therefore, we ask all everywhere to stop all criticism and discussion of the 100% groups and of those who have been strong and unselfish enough to give the service which they render. We ask all to bless the Luke groups with all the love of their beings, that the greatest service possible may be rendered everyone on earth through those groups, so that the most may be accomplished in the shortest time for the freedom of America and the world now. We ask all to do this deep, deep, deep in the feelings, and we decree that not even the air shall carry a breath or wave of criticism against them, the service they give, or those who have chosen to give that service. Everyone knows in his own heart whether he is doing right or wrong. No one can give obedience to the great law of purity and perfection for him. Therefore, we call the MIGHTY presence of each one into action to seize, bind, hold inactive, and remove all human qualities and creations within him, and replace them all by the Ascended Master's eternal obedience to the light of his own mighty I Am presence in his own heart, and hold its mighty perfection within and about him and his world forever self-sustained. ELOVD ones in the I Am school feel that the light is your eternal home, which you left for a while, and now you are coming back into it. Feel and see everything your heart desires coming to you out of the great globe or sphere of dazzling white light around your presence, whose depths are exhaustless. You have come forth from the light. The light is constantly pouring its gifts and service to and through you for the freedom of all. Therefore, try to feel all the time that you live, walk, talk, and act constantly in your own great pillar of light, white with a radiance of gold, which is always around you, pouring down from your presence. Before you start to do anything, stop. Send love to your presence for a moment, and then remember, now I am calling my mighty I Am presence into action here. It knows no resistance or interference of any kind, but proceeds with all the energy of the universe to fulfill my decree. So now I accept the instantaneous fulfillment of my call, and I thank you, my precious I Am presence, forever. Then send up more love to your presence and just be happy in enjoying in your feel. THE 100% groups. HE, Great Divine Director, and Saint Germain wish it made unmistakably clear to all I Am students that the 100% groups are rendering a service to the light, America, and the world which they alone can give. The work which the great host of ascended masters wish to accomplish through them is of such a nature that certain requirements must be fulfilled if their assistance is to be given. When specific work is to be done in definite channels, the amount of energy needed to accomplish that work must be released through the students in those groups. When the energy is of a certain intensity, the minds and bodies of the students who are to direct it must be pure and strong to a definite degree. So the energy released will go forth uncontaminated enough to do the work for which it is called forth. The requirements listed must be fulfilled in the daily life of the students, and to everyone who desires to fulfill them, the I Am presence will give limitless strength, courage, and power to accomplish it. The signing of those applications is to help the student keep a check on his human self, strong enough to let the work be done through him. It is all wholly voluntary at all times, but the agreement is between the student and his presence, and no one else is ever urged. It is
All must be done because the student obeys his own heart's call to give his service to America, and no one can do that for him.
It is the request of the great divine director and Saint Germain that if anyone is not intending to abide by those requirements, please do not sign those applications or come into those groups.
Because remember, precious ones of the light, in all this activity you are dealing with the law of energy and vibration, and they do not discriminate. They obey the direction and take on the quality within the individual.
They obey the direction and take on the quality within the individual. NO1 can be blamed or criticized for the action and existence of that law. In the 100% groups, tremendous streams of energy are released by the ascended ones to free all.
No one should be blamed or criticized because he is willing to discipline his human self enough to enable this mighty service to the light to be given.
Imbuing the thing you have decreed and see it coming to you out of the great globe of white light around your presence. The application to sign for the 100% groups is no pledge, oath, or anything of the kind. It is simply a reminder to the individual of the requirements needed to live up to the highest ideals. This is the shortest way to the goal of freedom and is but a means of helping the individual to the goal. Therefore, we ask all everywhere to stop all criticism and discussion of the 100% groups and of those who have been strong and unselfish enough to give the service which they render. We ask all to bless the Luke groups with all the love of their beings, that the greatest service possible may be rendered everyone on earth through those groups, so that the most may be accomplished in the shortest time for the freedom of America and the world now. We ask all to do this deep, deep, deep in the feelings, and we decree that not even the air shall carry a breath or wave of criticism against them, the service they give, or those who have chosen to give that service. Everyone knows in his own heart whether he is doing right or wrong. No one can give obedience to the great law of purity and perfection for him. Therefore, we call the MIGHTY presence of each one into action to seize, bind, hold inactive, and remove all human qualities and creations within him, and replace them all by the Ascended Master's eternal obedience to the light of his own mighty I Am presence in his own heart, and hold its mighty perfection within and about him and his world forever self-sustained. ELOVD ones in the I Am school feel that the light is your eternal home, which you left for a while, and now you are coming back into it. Feel and see everything your heart desires coming to you out of the great globe or sphere of dazzling white light around your presence, whose depths are exhaustless. You have come forth from the light. The light is constantly pouring its GIFTS and service to and through you for the freedom of all. Therefore, try to feel all the time that you live, walk, talk, and act constantly in your own great pillar of light, white with a radiance of gold, which is always around you, pouring down from your presence. Before you start to do anything, stop. Send love to your presence for a moment, and then remember, now I am calling my mighty I Am presence into action here. It knows no resistance or interference of any kind, but proceeds with all the energy of the universe to fulfill my decree. So now I accept the instantaneous fulfillment of my call, and I thank you, my precious I Am presence forever. Then send up more love to your presence and just be happy in enjoying in your feel. THE 100%. Imbuing, the thing you have decreed, and see it coming to you out of the great globe of white light around your presence. Affirm Atiations.
Mighty I Am Presence, take out of my mental world and that of all mankind all human concepts and annihilate their cause and effect from existence forever.
Replace them with the Ascended Master's consciousness, substance, and activity of the all-knowing, dazzling, fathomless mind of God, and see that only their perfection ever exists in the mental world of all mankind forever. MIGHT, I am presence. Take out of my feeling world and that of all mankind all human feelings. Blast their cause and effect from existence forever, and replace them by the Ascended Master's feeling of the flame of divine love as the only qualifying presence within us all forever. MIGHT.
Mighty I Am Presence, take out of my feeling world and that of all mankind all human feelings, blast their cause and effect from existence forever, and replace them by the Ascended Master's feeling of the flame of divine love as the only qualifying presence within us all forever. Mighty I Am Presence, charge every human being's feelings within the United States of America with the Ascended Master's love and loyalty for her eternal freedom and perfection, and see that all remain eternally loyal to the light of God that never fails.
MIG. I wish to thank every study group in America and the world that has been issuing the decrees for the protection of America and for greater blessing to all. Ones, through your service in giving those decrees, there can come such help and protection for America and the world as you at present cannot possibly imagine. We thank you with all our heart's love and blessing from our MIGHTY I Am Presence without limit forever. Miracles and healings unbelievable are taking place as a result of your decrees, and we ask that you go on and on and on with the great joy and determination of your mighty I Am Presence to continue giving them for the perfection of all. Saint Germain has requested that everyone qualify the cosmic light as it touches the earth with the instantaneous annihilation of all and its cause and effect that breathes of WAR forever from our earth, and to replace all such activities and qualities with the Ascended Master's pure electronic substance of light, illuminating mankind, the earth and all that is therein by the mighty blaze of its glory, controlling all forever with the mighty power of its perfection. Please give the decree to prevent WAR in America and to stop WAR in Europe at least once a day and as much more frequently as your time and other activities permit. We thank you. We bless you. We hold your hand until the victory of the MIGHT I Am Presence fills all mankind, the earth and its atmosphere with eternal light and freedom for all. Affirmations. My blessed MIGHTY I Am Presence.
My blessed, mighty I Am Presence, take command and possession of all my activities of qualification, attention, and vision. Hold them locked forever within your heart and only let them act from there. Stop forever all human habits from ever acting again within me or my world and those of my loved ones. Mighty I Am Presence, take me into yourself completely. Take possession, produce perfection, and hold your dominion in me and my world forever. Never let anything fill in me, mine, or my world again, but the Ascended Master's consciousness of your heart. Mighty I Am Presence, charge me, my loved ones, and my world full to overflowing forever with Saint Germain's, Jesus, Nada's, and the great divine director's ascended master's feeling and substance of the light of God that never fails in everything I do forever.
My blessed, hold them locked forever within your heart. M-I-G-H-T-Y, I am presence. Charge me, my loved ones, and my world full to overflowing forever with Saint Germain's, Jesus's, Anna's, and the great divine director's ascended master feeling and substance of the L-I-G-H-T of God that never fails in everything I do forever. D-O-N-S, Talk on Kindness, Sindeller's Group, March 2nd, 5, 1937. HERE is one activity that HAT has been brought to my attention of late, which seems to be of more importance than any other one thing in the world, as FAR. Maintaining happiness in our own lives is concerned. It is the radiation of kindness. For what we send out, we inevitably receive back. In other words, a sing ye sow, so shall ye reap. Quote, therefore, it seems to me very important.
Young America. Don's Talk on Kindness, Sindeller's Group, March 25, 1937. There is one activity that has been brought to my attention of late, which seems to be of more importance than any other one thing in the world as far as maintaining happiness in our own lives is concerned. It is the radiation of kindness. For what we send out, we inevitably receive back. In other words, as ye sow, so shall ye reap. Therefore, it seems to me very important that each one of us should 3 times a day or more call to our presence in a manner something like this. Almighty I am presence. I call unto you to take charge of my human activity. See that I never send out an atom of unkindness, knowingly or unknowingly, to any child of the light in the universe. Do you realize that the reason we have unhappiness in our world and people do things to us that makes us unhappy is because at some time we have sent out the same feeling to some other ones of God's children. Therefore, it behooves us to give conscious, definite attention to this particular point. For I see clearly, as I have never seen in my life before, that unless I and every other student of the I Am and everyone on earth do this, we cannot expect happiness in our own lives.
I feel that I cannot find words to make this point as strong to every one of you as I feel it in my heart. Therefore, I call to Saint Germain to come forth and write this law in letters of living fire in the hearts and minds of all the students of the I Am forever. I know that this is the root of 99% of the unhappiness of mankind. Let each and every one of us call on the law of forgiveness, that our past momentum of these undesirable thoughts and feelings can be consumed. That this energy be released into the service of the light, and whatever balance the divine law requires us to make for the wrong we have done in the past may be made harmoniously. There is a great mercy in the divine law, by which, through the activity of the law of forgiveness, we can make restitution for our past created discord in a harmonious way. In other words, if we have sent out hate to someone in the past, it does not mean that we must receive that much hate in return before we can make the balance to the law, but rather that we can give balance or offset our past discordant momentum through service in an harmonious way.
If any one of you had any concept of the tremendous discordant momentum everyone has built up in the past, you would realize this is the greatest divine mercy that could be bestowed upon mankind. I feel tonight that as in all the other groups we have attended, someone must dictate, and I do not want to take one moment of time from any one of the beloved ascended ones who wishes to speak to you. I feel that I have brought forth the one most important point which has been shown me in a long time, and I hope it may help you.
Our Memorial Day blessing. In C, Memorial Day turns the attention of the people in our country to those who have passed on, not only through war, but through all other channels as well. We make the call. Mighty I Am Presence and great host of ascended masters, send the angels of the blue lightning of divine love to come and take all those who have passed out of the physical body into the octave of light, and see that they receive this mighty instruction of Saint Germain on the Mighty I Am Presence. Prepare them now so they bring this ascended master knowledge with them in the next embodiment and make conscious effort to the eternal freedom of the ascension. We call the angels from the violet temple of light to enfold them all in a great pillar of violet consuming flame of divine love and hold it about them until the moment of their ascension. Special announcement. Books in Braille. Unveiled. Your heart's deepest love goes out to bless the beloved students who have brought forth the I Am books of Saint Germain into Braille for the Unveiled Mysteries is already in many of the principal libraries, including the Library of Congress and also the National Library for the Blind, both in Washington, D.C. THE Magic Presence is now being mailed to the same libraries. THE 1AM Discourses will be available in the next few months. We bless eternally the American Brotherhood for the Blind, embossers, and the blessed student who has stereotyped all the plates, both giving their services as a glad, free gift of love for the blind. Through the combined efforts of all, it is now possible to obtain these books at very low prices from the American Library for the Blind, 184 S. Oxford Avenue, Los Angeles, California. Unveiled Mysteries in 2 volumes, $5. Illumination. Our new booklet.
Our new booklet. It is our joy to announce the release of our most recent booklet, the I Am Decrees, for use.
It is our joy to announce the release of our most recent booklet, the I Am Decrees, for use by all who wish to help in this service of the light, to bring illumination, victory, and freedom to mankind everywhere. This booklet is a collection of I Am Decrees, covering most of the special conditions into which we are calling the activity of the MIGHTY presence. Through the issuing of these decrees, the presence is pouring into those conditions the light, love, and substance from the Ascended Master's octave of life. The purpose of this book is to enable all to give and receive limitless help in this hour of world crisis. This means the individual, America, and the world. Everyone can give and receive the limitless blessings of the mighty I Am presence by using these decrees of the Ascended Masters for the protection and freedom of America, as well as the rest of the world. It does not take faith nor an intellectual understanding of this ascended master instruction to release the action of the law of the MIGHT, I am presence, through giving these decrees. For a 3-year-old child can call forth the activity of the presence and receive its manifestation as quickly as the most intellectual person. The call to the presence simply sets the law into action.
We send each copy forth, charged with the cosmic authority and power of the mighty I Am Presence, as of 1,000 sons of divine love, light, substance, blessing, and perfection of the ascended masters.
To illumine, protect, supply, set free, and manifest the victory of THE, the light of God that never fails, for all who use or contact IT in any way. May every IAM student and every human being in the whole world use the decrees in this book continually until all mankind is free and outpictures the perfection of the ascended masters. M.R. and Mrs. G. W. Ballard, for sale by St. Germain Press and Sindelar Studios. Affirmations. MIGHYI Presence. Turn this food into ascended master substance, and fill me with their satisfaction and peace eternally sustained.
Mighty I Am Presence. Turn this food into ascended master substance, and fill me with their satisfaction and peace eternally sustained. Mighty I Am Presence. Charge into and fill my being and world full to overflowing with the ascended master's joy, humor, ecstasy, and instantaneous victory and success in everything I do forever, and pour it through me so powerfully that all I contact become it, also eternally sustained. Mighty I Am Presence. Annihilate all old human habits and their cause and effect from me and my world forever, and replace them by the Ascended Master's freedom and substance. Thank you.